Hi, my beautiful friends. I am in a jumper today. It's the first time I've recorded in a jumper. It's starting to get very, very cold now. I've got my jumper, my tights, and my warm, fluffy socks on and feeling very, very cash. But that's okay because I just like to keep it real with you guys. I like to just share from the heart because it's the content that you're listening to. I'm over the perfectionism. I'm over the comparing with what everybody else does with their businesses or with their lives. I just want to keep it so real, you guys, and encourage you to do the same for you. And what I want to have a chat with you about today is actually, before I go on, I pulled a card, right? And this card is very fitting. I thought, I don't do it every episode, but I had a need to pull a card today for you guys. And I've got this beautiful Divine Feminine Oracle deck. And I just said, what do my listeners need to hear today? Like, what's really going to help them? And I pulled this beautiful, beautiful card called Mirabai, the Saint of True Freedom. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Let me explain what this means because it's so fitting, as always. So this episode is around mums and around you being, well, females, but predominantly mums, you being the leading energy in your household. And so what this episode is going to be about is about teaching you the why, like why it's so important that you take exquisite care of you, and how there's just so much pressure on us in today's society with expectations, with comparison, with competing, with keeping up, with perfectionism, that it's just like a minefield of information and just so much overwhelm that a lot of women experience. This card kind of sums it up in a nutshell, what I want you to think about as we go into this episode, okay? So she says, when you select her card, when your soul selects her card, often without even realizing it, we make choices based on external expectations on how we think other people will perceive our actions. Mirabai is about doing what is right for you and no one else. Ultimately, only you can know what needs to be done or said. You have this one brief life and every second of it matters. Mirabai is about standing up for what you know is right for you, even if others will judge you for it. The fear of being persecuted can convince us not to be true to who we really are. There's a love though that's far larger than human constructs and cultural values. Love isn't ethical. Love isn't bound by the idea of what's socially acceptable. Love is what sets us free from expectations that bind us. Love, in whatever way it finds us, asks us to stay loyal to our own soul. Any outside force or person who asks us to betray our most intimate relationship with ourselves, with the divine, isn't acting out of love. Then it goes on to say this last little bit. Here we go. Love asks us to look at what really matters to us and what we truly value. Love asks us to bravely defy expectations in order to be true to ourselves. Love wants us to marry our own soul. Intention. Love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. I thought, wow, that is such a fitting card because I know as mums, as women in today's world, we feel so much pressure from, it's often a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves, pressure from the media, pressure from social media, pressure from family, pressure from our kids, pressure from loved ones, pressure from work, pressure from like just friends, people that we associate with. And we just put this so much pressure on ourselves that I want you to take a step back today. And I want you to really think about your soul, your own soul needs. And I want you to look at it from the perspective of how your energy is the leading energy of the household, girls. It absolutely is. I know that often the male is kind of that dominant kind of, if you go back to like prehistoric, what's the word I'm looking for? If you go back through evolution, right? The male is kind of that more dominant energy, that dominant presence, that courageous person, like leading energy, that kind of, you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's just that bigger energy, but it's actually the feminine. If you take it back, if you think about a household, the woman is the one who is the nourishing energy, who is the caregiver, who really comes from that place of love and taking care of the family. And often what happens is you neglect yourself in the process. You care for so many people around you that you sacrifice your own needs and put yourself last. And often it's not that you're doing it intentionally. Life just causes you to become busy. Life just causes you to take care of everybody else. Life just causes you to be this person that puts herself last unintentionally because there are so many demands on us. And now we kind of have all of these demands around taking care of the home, taking care of our children, taking care of our families. And on top of that, we're trying to work. We're having to contribute to the family income, the finances as well. So we've just got so much pressure on ourselves that what happens is often it becomes too hard. So you put yourself last, and it is definitely not intentional. I know a lot of women, they're just too tired to care. They're too tired. They're stuck in the rat race. They're stuck in the energy of just trying to keep their head above water, of reacting, that they probably don't even take enough time to kind of stop and think about, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? But girls, I'm here to tell you that a woman's spirit affects your whole house. A woman's energy is the leading energy in your household, and you kind of set the tone, you set the stage for how your energy affects everybody else. So how this episode all come about, I talk about this in class, but how this all come about is I've had one of those weeks where I've had a lot of feedback. So I'm a responding generator by my human design. I respond to what is going on around me. I respond to feedback. I respond to the energy of what's going on around me. I respond to what people are saying to me, feedback or testimonials that I get. And I want to share a few things that have come up this week. So I had one of my girls in the studio, and she actually said to me, her daughter's a bit older, her daughter's in her 20s, and she said to me, I was out with my daughter, and she said to me, Mum, like, Earthy Angels and Lisa have been the best thing for you. She said, my husband even said the same thing. I was blown away by that. I had another lady who comes to all the super early classes, 5 a.m. She's there nearly all the time, about 5 days a week, 4 to 5 days a week. But she often doesn't do my class on a Friday because she does all the other classes and likes to come on Saturday morning. And then she started coming back to my classes on Friday. I'm like, what are you doing here? Did you miss me? Or can you not get to Steph's class tomorrow? And you know what she said? She said, I realized that the days I don't come, my day just turns to shit. Like she said, I know that it's an effort to get up early, but my day runs so much better. So she can see that as a mum, as a caregiver, that her energy is impacted by the way that she takes care of herself and how it ripples into her day, into the way she reacts, into her family. I had another girl who said to me, she's just finished with us. I'm so devastated. She's been with me like since we started. I've seen her through getting married, getting her body ready for her marriage, going through trying to conceive journey, having a pregnancy, having her bub. Now her bub's at toddler stage, so she's been with me for a really long time. And she's so upset. She's moving to be closer to her family, which is the best thing that she could actually do when she's got a little girl. It's so, so important. And I was chatting with her about just what she got out of the studio. And she recorded a little video for me. And she said that I believe being a part of the studio and being around this energy and this community, it actually helped me conceive. But also from being a mum, she said, I've just realized that it just makes you feel so much better in your head. You feel stronger for yourself and you feel stronger for your little one. And I've been really grateful to connect with other mums and share their perspective on motherhood. I had another moment last night. Actually, let me take you back to one other story and then I'll use that next one to segue into where I'm going to go with this. I had a lady that I'm connected with in a networking type groups. And she's just started, she literally just started a couple of days ago. And she was saying to me how, you're just struggling with fatigue, as a young bub, struggling with her, like with business, with trying to juggle the things we're all trying to juggle. Mum's like absolutely all the things we all try and keep our head above water, juggling work, juggling family, and was at that point of, I just feel like just giving up on my business, giving up on everything. I'm just so tired, and was really feeling quite emotional, as we all do when you have a little baby, like there's so much going on. And I said to her, look, just come to my studio, just come and give it a go. Come and give yourself a little bit of time for self-care. Like, you can find 1 hour during the week where your husband can have bub, and just come to a class and see how you feel. I said, look, I'll give you a couple of weeks, just come. And she messaged the other day and said, I come to my first class, and she said, I honestly felt when I left, I felt this energy course through me that anything is possible. And I am so grateful and appreciative for you telling me that I need to start looking after myself, because I was done. I was ready to give up on my business, but now I have this drive again, and I'm ready to go and kick some ass. Like, it's amazing how it shifts your energy, right? What you do for yourself shifts your energy, which affects your household, affects your career, affects how you feel in yourself. And then last story, I was in class last night, and my adorable little niece, she come up because her, she's my niece's daughter, so great niece, whatever you call that. My niece trains downstairs, and she sneaks in sometimes, and she just pops her head in the little door. And I see her, and I said, do you want to come and lay in with me? And so she come in on the mat, and I got this video, and I sent it to my niece afterwards. Now, let me put this in perspective. My gorgeous little niece, her dad's like a motocross. He does like motorbike stunts and things like this. He's into like motocross. He's like so full of energy. Her mum's the same. They kind of go, go, go. And it's no surprise that this beautiful little girl is bouncing off the walls full of energy. And she comes into the studio, and she lays down. I had everybody in Shavasana, and she laid down, and while I was kind of chatting with the class, I had incense, and I was just walking around with some incense, and she's laying there really still, and I just kind of gently waved some of the incense over her so she could just kind of take it in a little bit. And I quickly whipped out my phone, and I did a little video to send to my niece to say, look how still she is. She was just like, oh, just so blissfully still. And I laid down next to her when I got all the girls settled. It's all quiet, we're in Shavasana, and I laid down next to her, and I held her hand, and she opened her eyes, and she looks at me, and she just whispers, I love you. And then she closed her eyes and just laid in stillness again. Oh, I just wanted to cry. My heart melted. She's a beautiful little thing. And I sent that to my niece, and she said, man, I've never seen her so still. She just loves seeing you up there. And do you know what it is? It is the energy. It's the energy that I am emitting to her. It's the energy of the room. It's the energy of the community. It's the energy that we're in when we're in practice. People, souls, little children, people around you pick up on your energy. They pick up on your vibration. And it's not, mums, what you say, it's what your actions are. It's how you feel. It's what you're energetically vibrating at. Your family pick up on that. Your kids pick up on that. It affects everything that you do in your world. And that's why it is so important that you take care of you, because your energy ripples out into your household, my friends. And I know, let me take you back. I know how demanding it is being a mum. I know how easy it is to lose yourself in your role as a mum when these little children, these other people come into your world, and it really changes you. It really makes you feel at times that you can kind of grieve this old part of yourself. It makes you feel that you can lose yourself. You don't know who you are anymore, because everything, you're just giving so much to everybody else. And motherhood is such a meaningful role. It's honestly been the best part of my life. And I'm still going through it. We will go through it until, you'll be a mum for a long time. I adore my mum. I'm in my 40s and I'm so blessed with my mum. So we're going to be this mothering role for a very, very long time. And it is such a rewarding, incredible part of our life, and it is just such meaningful work, but it can be so hard, and it can be so depleting at times, and you can feel like you put yourself last. It is so easy to do. And I remember when I was younger, before I had my kids, I want to tell you a couple of key pivotal points in my life, okay? So when I was younger, I remember working at the bank, and so I was in my 20s. I hadn't had kids yet. Tom and I were going through that process of getting engaged, getting married, all the fun stuff. And I remember there being a few mums in the bank, and I remember seeing how from what they spoke about, I remember seeing how some of their marriages had suffered in had kind of been put to the side in raising kids. And I made a observation. I've always kind of just had this, I don't know what you call it, this knack or this just vision of, I look at people further ahead than me, and I look at choices they've made, actions they've taken, the way they think, the results that they've got, and maybe what they've done to get there or what they haven't done. And I just look at it with no judgment. I just learn, right? I just look at it with a basic mind of curiosity and just this, I just look and observe, like just this observer kind of mindset. No judgment. I just take notice, right? And I remember in that moment thinking to myself, because I was just about to get married, and I remember thinking, man, I don't want to end up like that when I get older, that my marriage is kind of so stale. And trust me, we all go through periods where they're stale, like we absolutely do. But I don't want to go through that where we've just drifted. You raise kids and your marriage drifts apart, right? And that can absolutely happen. Like there's no, like there are definitely times that people need to go their separate ways. I'm just talking from my experience. This was a pivotal point in my life where I was like, I don't want my relationship with my partner to suffer as a result of raising kids. How can you make it all work? Like how can you still have a great marriage and raise kids without kind of losing yourself? So that was kind of a key pivotal moment, like over 20 years ago, that has stuck with me. Another key pivotal moment was when the kids were younger. We would take the kids on the skis. We'd jet ski down to Southport, down the Spit down there, not the Spit, down at Southport Parklands, and where they had that aqua splash, and we would run and play with the kids on aqua splash. And so the mum has to be, the parent has to, or the caregiver, the adult has to be really close with them, okay? At that age, you have to be like kind of with them at all times. I remember seeing this mum, and she fell off, which we all do. I fell off a million times, fell off the aqua splash into the water and couldn't get herself up. She was a larger woman and could not get herself up out of the water. And I kind of went to offer my hand, and when you kind of do it with that, I hope she doesn't get offended. Is this the right thing to do? I don't know, but I just offered my hand and she wouldn't take it. And I remember her child kind of being like, I want to go, I want to keep going. And I got to wait for mum now. And that was a key pivotal moment as well. Again, no judgment, no disrespect, just for me and what I was thinking. I thought, I want to always have energy to keep up with my kids. I want to have energy to run around with them. I want to have energy to play with them. I want to keep that childlike enthusiasm and zest for life with my kids as I'm raising them. I want to run through the playground with them. I want to push them on the slides, on the swings, and go down the slide with them and run up and down the flying fox with them. I want to have energy to do all of those things. So that was kind of a key pivotal moment where it just changed the course of my thinking. It changed my perspective, and it made me realize that I need to take care of myself, right? Like if I want to have energy to keep up with my kids, I need to take care of myself. And another one was, and this is going to sound so bad, like I'm a different person now, but I remember thinking back then, going to schools, and then when the kids started going to schools, or you kind of networking or meeting or mingling with other mums, going to different play groups and all sorts of things like that, I thought to myself, it sounds so bad, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. This is what I thought. I thought I never want to be a frumpy mum. And when I say frumpy, it's got nothing to do with size or weight or anything like that. It was more, I saw how some people let themselves go. And when I say let themselves go, again, I'm not talking about weight or size or anything. The energy of just kind of giving up, like that energy of, I felt it, I could see it, and I felt it in a lot of mums because it's freaking hard work. It is so hard and it is so draining, and I've absolutely been through moments where I have gone through that frumpy stage. Trust me, I'm not telling you anything I haven't done. but I've got myself out of it and didn't want to stay there. But I thought as a young girl, I had my kids young, I was like, not super, super young, but young like in today's standards. Like my grandma was super young. She had my dad at 15 and I was 25 when I had Riley. And I kind of thought to myself back then, I just don't want to give up on myself for me, for my relationship, and for my kids. Like, I want to have energy. I want to feel good in myself. I want to still have an amazing sex life. I want to have intimacy with my husband. I want all these things. And there's nothing wrong with having these desires. There's nothing wrong with wanting these things in your life. And it was all about how I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like I was connected in my marriage. I wanted to feel like I could keep up and have energy to play with my kids, to look after myself. I wanted kind of, if you think about all of it, I wanted this beautiful relationship with myself, my partner, and my kids. And it's not going to be this perfect relationship in all of those areas of your life at all times. Trust me, there are times when you kind of don't have time for yourself. There are times when you're in the thick of things with kids and work that you don't have time for your marriage. There are times when you might be so busy with work that you feel like you're neglecting your kids. Like, man, I don't have all the boxes ticked all the time, and I know you don't either. There are definitely times I felt I've neglected either myself, my kids, or my husband throughout the 20 years. Well, we've been married for 25 years, and I've had kids for 21. Riley's almost 21 years. I have not had it perfect all the time, but I'm going to share with you a few things that I have done that have definitely helped myself, my marriage, and raising my children as well, and the relationship with my kids, because it is such a juggle, you guys. Like, it is something that is so rewarding, but at times something has to give, something has to be sacrificed. And you know what it usually is? It is usually you. It is usually the mum that puts herself last because she is so tired, stressed out, busy, exhausted, trying to take care of everybody else. And it's almost impossible to do everything well all the time. And I know that, and I know you feel it too, and that is okay. We are doing the best that we can. We are doing the best job we can raising our family. We're doing the best job we can, whether you're working or not, no matter what role you've got. Remember this card that I said? It's what works for you and what's important for your soul and your journey, because we are all in different stages of our lives. We all have different circumstances. We all have different needs, wants, desires. Like, we're all in different stages. So I just want you to take out of this what aligns for you, okay? And what resonates for you, but know that we're all in different places, and that is okay, okay? So what I have found through raising my children, I made a decision at a very young age that I'm going to take the best care of myself, because I just had this feeling it was going to ripple out into my marriage, into my role as a mum, and myself and how I wanted to feel. So back then I kind of knew how I wanted to feel, right? I knew I wanted to have energy to keep up with my kids. I knew I wanted to really invest in my marriage, invest in my relationship. And I can tell you, like, we're 25 years on, we've been married, we've been together since we were 16, like very, very young. And my marriage has not been perfect all the time. There has definitely been ups and downs. There are definitely times it has been stale. There's definitely times it has felt like you're just kind of, like passing ships in the night, like you're on your own path, you're doing your own thing. I remember when my kids were little, sometimes Tom would come home and I would be like, I've had it up to here with them, just take them. I can't deal with them anymore. He would walk in the door and I just felt like this cranky bitch of a wife, cranky bitch of a mum. We've all felt like it, girls. Like, I have definitely been there, and I still go there at times. Like, even with all the work that I do on myself, our emotions get the better of us, and what we're dealing with in the time, our mind gets the better of us. So we're not perfect, but we're not here to be perfect, right? We're here to learn from experience. But what I learned over those years is that the more I took care of myself through exercise, through reading personal development books, through doing all the mindset work, through playing with my kids and actually having fun and letting go of some of the chores at some stages. I just felt that the more I took care of myself, the more it helped me in my marriage, the more it helped me raise my children, the more it helped me feel good in myself. That if I was to look back, like I'm 20 years down the track of raising children, and I am so grateful every single day. I am so grateful that I made a decision when I was younger to invest in myself. So I don't know what stage you're at now, but it doesn't matter what age you are, you can start now. Start taking care of yourself now. Whether that be through movement, whether that be through self-care, whether that be through mindset work, through meditation, through allowing yourself a bit of space to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of joy. No matter what you're doing, give yourself permission right now, girls, that it is okay to take care of you. It is okay to put your needs first, because I can see how it's affected my family throughout all of these years. Yes, there's been ups and downs. There's been high points. There's been low points. There's been outbursts. There's been tension. There's been stress. Like, I've been through it all, like a lot of you guys have too. But overall, I kept getting myself back. I kept getting my energy back. I kept feeling good in myself. That was my dominant energy. That was my dominant vibration, because I understood the power in how taking care of me helps everybody else in my household. And how did I come to that conclusion? It was from reading a lot of books. Like, it was definitely from reading a lot of books, from doing a lot of work on myself mentally, that made me understand, hang on a sec, like, it's not actually, I shouldn't feel guilty about taking care of myself. You know, there are definitely times I would feel guilty that my house wasn't perfect. We built our house, and at first I learned the hard way, at first I had it feel like it was just like this show home. I put so much pressure on myself to have my house look perfect all the time, to have the dishes always done, to try and have, I was worried, what would people think when they come over if I had shit everywhere? Like, I really worried about a lot of those things. That the more I dove into personal development, the more I would kind of read some of these spiritual books, the more I would look after my mindset, the more I would shift my perspective. I'm like, does it really matter if my dishes aren't done? Does it really matter if my house isn't perfect? Does it really matter what people think? Because the people that come over who love you and appreciate you and are your true people, they love you unconditionally. They don't care about these sort of things. So I had to reprogram a lot of those subconscious beliefs that you have to have everything. I felt like you have to be this kind of perfect mum, right? And that is the pressure that we put on ourselves, girls. Like, we feel like we have to have everything ticked off all the time. We feel like our house has to be perfect. We feel like we have to have this home cooking done. We kind of feel like we have to have our kids presented in this perfect way, like our kids are behaving perfectly. Like, we just put so much pressure on ourselves. And a lot of this comes from social media. A lot of this comes from comparison to other people. A lot of it is pressure that we put on ourselves. It's not pressure that other people put on you. It can be, but a lot of it is this pressure that we put on ourselves. So I want you to start right now with letting go of perfectionism, letting go of this feeling that everything has to be right all the time, letting go of this comparison with what other people are doing, with what other mums are doing, with what you see other mums doing on their social media, what you see other mums doing at school, what you see other mums doing, because you don't know the story behind closed doors, girls. You don't know what goes on behind in everybody else's life. There might be certain elements that appear perfect, but behind they're struggling in certain ways. We all have our battles. We all have things that we're struggling with. We all have things that we don't feel we're doing a good enough job in. I do, you do, we all do it. And comparison is the thief of all joy. When you keep comparing yourself to what other women are doing, how other mums are running their lives, how other mums are feel like they're keeping up with everything, the school runs, the sporting, all the activities, all the running around, keeping up with their household, keeping up with, they look amazing. And you can kind of sit there and feel like, oh my God, I feel like a mess. I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job. Let go of that pressure on yourself, because you don't know what other people's struggles are behind closed doors. Remember, what you see on socials is just a highlight reel. What you see is just a facade. Like, some of it can be, yes, there's elements of truth to it, but people don't show you everything. People aren't really completely raw and honest and vulnerable and authentic on there. So just forget about what other people are doing and just focus on you and what is right for your family and your needs. And it will just take such a weight off your shoulders, such a pressure off you, that it's almost like it gives you permission and gives you the freedom to go, oh, I'm just going to worry about me. Like, that is really, really something important that I want you to sit with, and I want you to start doing moving forward, is just taking care of you and your family and your needs, and forgetting what everybody else does. Man, I am so glad I didn't have social media. I'm showing my age now, but we didn't have social media like, what we did now when my kids were little. I think I might have been Riley might have been about 8 when I jumped on Facebook. So I missed a big chunk of it. And I'm not going to lie, it's not a bad thing. But on the other token, I felt a bit isolated, like I was kind of young when I had kids. I was 25, and I felt like because I was the first one out of all my circle to have kids. And thank God for my mum. I spent a lot of time with my mum and kind of hanging out with Bub, going to my parents' house, or maybe going out to, this sounds like a real lady leisure, but going out to coffee or lunches or doing things with my mum and spending a lot of time at my parents' house. I'm so blessed that I have that, because I know not everybody else has that. But none of my friends had kids. I was the first one. So I couldn't see what was going on in social media and everybody else's world, but I kind of felt like I was at home by myself in my pajamas when my husband's gone to work, and just feeling like life was going on around me. And I was like, it's like everything was going on. Everything was kind of, everyone was doing their thing, and I felt like I was just such a loner at home with my baby. And I know a lot of mums feel the same, that I kind of I got back into my yoga a bit, then I got pregnant again and had Brocky, and it wasn't until they were about 2 years old and Brock was 6 months that I got into full-time exercise, and I never stopped. But before then, I would still, like when the kids were little, I would still push them in the pram and go to the park, again, often by myself, kind of take them down to the local park. But it just felt really, really good getting them outside, and it felt good by me getting out, having some fresh air, walking, moving my body, and just getting out of the house. So I remember what those days are like, girls, when you feel like your kids are so little and just the whole world is going on around you, and you can feel so isolated. That is so important to connect with like-minded women. It's so important to connect. If you go back to like the days of back many, many years ago with women's circles, for instance, that's what I found the power in women's circles, is that you can just feel like you have people around you that get it, people around you that you can talk to, people around you that you can connect with. And it just gives you an opportunity to talk to other people and talk to other mums and realize that, we're all having our own battles. We're all having our own struggles. We're all trying to juggle everything and get some perspective from other mums. And that's what people have found coming into the studio. And so just taking care of yourself that way, taking care of yourself by connecting with other women who lift you up, right? Connecting with other women that you can learn from, connecting with other women who can inspire you, is going to help you on your journey through raising your kids. And I'm going to go through with you now like a couple of ways that you can really take care of yourself, that you can look after your energy when you're juggling motherhood, when you're juggling dealing with life, kids, work, everything is going on. I want you at times just to take a few moments to stop and breathe, amongst the chaos of everything. Just take a few moments. Sometimes you go, you know what, I just need to stop. I just need to slow down. I just need to walk out the door, catch my breath, and just breathe. I used to do that at times, or I would get the kids outside. I would just go out, go to a park, or just go fuck the chores, like just stop everything. I'm just going outside for a little bit. I'd take their toys and go, you know what, it can all wait. And I would just get outside because I just felt I love being out in nature. So I would just take them out and just stop and just play with them and just get out in the sun, get yourself out in the sun, get out, get connected to nature. And that just has a way of shifting your state, of shifting your energy, shifting your vibration when you get connected to nature, but also when you get outside and you give yourself permission to go, you know what, I'm just going to play with my kids. I'm just going to be with the kids, and I'm not going to feel guilty about everything else that I have to do. Because girls, this time in your life will go fast. I can tell you, my kids are now 18, 20, and it felt like at the thick of it, it felt hard. Is this ever going to end? But now I look back and I go, man, like this has just gone in the blink of an eyelid. And I just cherish those days. They were a really, really beautiful time in my life, because now they're off doing their own thing. Now they're off with their own friends, you know, doing their own thing, that I go, man, that just went so, so quickly. And I am so grateful that I invested the time in myself and I invested the time in my marriage, because now that I'm seeing the kids are starting to, they're not leaving home yet, but they're getting older and they're doing their own thing. We have such, my husband and I, we just have such an incredible relationship and such a strong bond from all of those years that I decided to take care of myself and invest in my marriage. All the years that I went, you know what, guilt-free, we're going to have a date night, even if it meant the kids were in bed and we had a bit of a date night at home. Sometimes we would go away for weekends. Yes, we've been overseas for a week by ourselves. Like even when the kids were, gosh, the first time we left them and went overseas by ourselves, the kids were like, we went to Vegas for our 30th. So they would have been like five and 3. And we've always done those things for ourselves because it's kept our marriage fun, spontaneous, connected, intimate, kept that passion alive. So when you look after yourself and you look after your marriage, when you get to the point in your life where my kids are now, or your relationship, don't have to use the word marriage, but your relationship, what happens is you just can see the benefits of all of those years of investing into your relationship and investing into yourself, because your kids are going to go off and do their own thing. And I go, man, we've just got such a beautiful, beautiful relationship. Like I said, not always perfect, not always roses, but as the kids are doing their own thing, we have this time to ourselves now, so much time to ourselves. And it is beautiful. There's definitely times I miss them, not going to lie, but I'm really blessed with the relationship that we have because of those years that I invested into, well, we invested into our marriage. So it's so important, you guys, that you put energy into your self-care and energy into your relationship, because I remember what my mum said to me. She said, the doctor told her that your kids are only on loan. Your relation, this is what he said back then. I know a lot of things have changed, but he said, your kids are on loan, your husband's forever. And that's what she told me. And that's something that has always stuck with me. I know relationships are not always forever. That's up to free will, personal choice. But I just found that your kids are on loan, right? Like they're in your life for a certain amount of time and then they're off doing their own soul journey. So this is where when you invest in yourself and you take care of yourself, you don't lose yourself so much in a role of being a mum that when your kids leave home, you go, who am I and what do I want? And I see that in a lot of mums as their kids are getting older, because I work with a lot of women in there, not only with little kids, but as their kids are getting older, they've never taken care of themselves and they don't know how to start and they feel so scared to do it. I just want to tell you, just start. It's amazing how many women come through the doors and go, I was riddled with anxiety, but when I came and I started and I got moving, I'm so grateful that I had the courage in myself to do it, because I'm feeling so good right now. So if you haven't started yet, if you're at that point in your life, start taking care of yourself now. It doesn't matter what stage your kids are at, my friends. Like, it doesn't matter. You are a priority and you are worth it. So that leads me into move your body, girls. Take care of your body. You have one body to get you through life. Take exquisite care of it. When you nourish it, when you exercise, you have more energy to keep up with your kids. You have more energy to keep up with your partner. You have more energy to keep up with life. You have more energy to do the things that you want to do, and it boosts confidence. You feel good in yourself. not only from an energetic perspective, but you have more confidence in your body. You have more confidence in your skin. You feel this strength. You feel this empowerment. You feel this beautiful state of being when you take care of yourself. If you constantly neglect yourself and put yourself last, it's easy to get in a funk. It's easy to criticize your body. It's easy to find fault with your body. It's easy to feel fatigued, feel exhausted. When you move your body, it changes your mental state. When you do something to change your state, you suddenly get these like dopamine rush. You suddenly get these feel good endorphins. You suddenly start to feel like this feels good. Sometimes you can't explain it. Like my friend said, she goes, I can't explain it. I just feel really, really good. And I feel that this energy is pulsating through me and I feel that anything is possible. That's what moving your body does. So it will help you get out of a funk, girls, if you're feeling like you're in that bit of a funk at home. With kids, with young kids, with teen kids, or with kids that are about to leave home, it gives you energy and it gives you this more confidence and more empowerment in your body when you take care of yourself, and that ripples out into all of your loved ones, and that's where you draw your strength from. So what is it for you where you draw your strength from? It could be little shifts, you guys. I know we don't all have the ability to get out and go to classes. I know we don't all have the ability to, maybe you're struggling with a bit of money to go out and pay for things. That's okay. You can move your body in any single way. You can do it at home. You can go out for walks. You can do things for free. You can meet friends and go and exercise. You've just got to come up with a solution to find a way to move your body and do the things that feel good for you. It can be as simple, girls, as just, like when you get up, putting on some clothes that make you feel good, maybe doing your hair or doing your makeup a little bit, whatever it is for you that allows you to feel good, that ripples out into your household. That ripples out into the state of how you feel, which then ripples out into the energy of all of your children, all of your loved ones and people around you. And when you take care of yourself, girls, it is teaching your young ones, it is teaching people around you to take care of themselves. Because if you constantly put yourself last, if you constantly neglect yourself, you set that example to those around you. Because remember, it's not what you say. Kids, it's not just what you say to your kids. It's the energy, it's your actions, it's what you do, and it's the energy. They feel this. If you're lacking confidence, if you're lacking self-esteem, if you're lacking worth, if you're riddled with anxiety, if you're I can't get the words out today, stressed and tense, they feel that. So, and we're all going to go through these times, that's okay, but how can you shift it? How can you get back into a state of feeling good? How can you get back into a state of feeling fulfilled? How can you get into a state of feeling like you are carrying yourself? Because it's not only for you, you are teaching your loved ones around you that it's important to value yourself, that it's important that they value themselves. It's important that they take care of themselves. We are the leading energy in the household. We're setting the stage. We're setting the example. Lead by example. So how you're feeling right now, think to yourself, would I want my child to feel like that at my age? If the answer is no, do something about it. Make some changes, because you have the power to instill this love, this peace, this joy, this energy into your home. What you say is influential. How you feel is influential. Your mood affects the whole energy of your household. So shift it into a better feeling state, because it's going to help everybody else around you, girls. It's not just you. It's affecting your loved ones. And I know it's easy to neglect yourself. I know it's easy to put yourself last, but just think, what message am I sending to my kids? What message am I sending to everybody else around me when I'm constantly down in the dumps, feeling in a depressed state, feeling anxious, feeling stressed, feeling tense, feeling exhausted, being the cranky biatch of a mum? How's that affecting everybody else around me, let alone myself? Like, all you need to do is make a decision to make some changes. All you need to do is make a decision to go, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be this energy for my family. I don't want to set this example for my kids. I want to make some changes. I want to show them what's possible For them, I want to show them how to get out of their comfort zone. But how can you teach them that if you don't do it yourself? Everything starts from you, mums. Everything starts from your energy, because how they grow up, the things they do, all their foundations comes back to what they learn at home. So really caring for you is giving your children permission that they are important to care for themselves as well. So remembering that whenever you're doubting on yourself, whenever you're second guessing whether you should take care of yourself or not, remember how much it's affecting your kids. Remember how much it's affecting those around you. Remember how you want them to be raised. What kind of legacy do you want to leave for them? If you're not here when you get older, what do you want them to remember? Do you want them to remember? This is what I used to think, okay? I used to think, like, do you want them to grow up remembering that cranky, so-and-so of a mum, or do you want them to remember the energy of how it was at home? Do you want them to remember how you taught them? Do you want them to remember the things that you instilled them with? Do you want them to remember the times that mum played with them, the times that mum had energy for them, the times that mum did the things for them? Because that's what they remember. So you have the power, my friends, to make some changes in your home. You have the power to help lift the energy in your household. And you are going to be so glad that you did. Girls, it's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to take care of you. It's okay to feel good about yourself. It's okay to walk out the door and go, damn, I feel good. It's okay. I know if you're kind of around a similar age to me, like I'm 46 or older, we really felt like it was selfish. It was guilty. You don't want to be up yourself. You don't want to be arrogant. You don't want to be full of yourself. It wasn't cool. It wasn't, we weren't brought up to say, I love myself, or I feel comfortable in my skin. It was more of an energy of, I guess, I didn't grow up where I had one gym. We had one gym around us. We didn't have all of the yoga studios, the places you could go for meditation, the women's circles, the workshops, all of the things that we literally have access to at our fingertips today. I had like one gym around me that I could go to, but we didn't have all of this stuff. And now there is so many resources available to us. So this is a blessing with social media, right? There are definitely some detrimental things to our health, absolutely, with social media, but there are some blessings. We have access to who we follow. We have access to online courses, to, so many books. We have access to podcasts. We have access to so much content. We have access to online, like meditations, do it at home exercise. Like we have access to so much content, but you've got to be mindful of what you allow to filter into your subconscious beliefs, what you allow to filter into your energy system. My point is, we have access to so many resources that you can use to help shift your mindset, that you can help learn to love on yourself, that it is okay to love on yourself, that it is okay to feel proud of your body. It's okay to feel grateful for the body that you have, because this is the example that we want to set to people around us, to the younger generation, that love is the leading energy. Gratitude is the leading dominant energy that we want to be in most of the time, because this is where we feel a lot better. When you sit in the energy of gratitude for your body, of gratitude for all of these blessings that you have around you, and you sit in that energy of love, how can you learn to love on yourself a little bit more? And it comes from your actions. Your actions speak louder than words. When you take care of yourself, you're showing those around you, you're showing yourself that I am worthy of prioritizing time for me. I am worthy of loving on myself. I am worthy of nourishing myself with good foods. I am worthy of nourishing myself with self-care. I'm worthy of rest. It's okay to rest, girls. It is okay. We feel like we have to just be superwoman, super mom, and do absolutely everything all of the time for everyone else. But I'm here to tell you, it is okay to take care of you. It is okay to put your needs first, because you are setting the stage for everybody around you, but your energy is filtering into your loved ones. Your energy is rippling out into those that you care about. So when you work on yourself, when you start to take exquisite care of yourself, when you learn that it's okay to put my needs first, I'm still going to care for my family, I'm not going to neglect them, I'm going to find a way to balance just a couple of times a week, girls. You don't have to like completely absorb yourself in yourself. I'm not saying about being selfish. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what is one thing that you can do for yourself every day, girls? One thing that you can do for yourself daily. It could be as simple as just going out and grounding. It could be as simple as putting the kids to bed and going and doing a meditation. It can be as simple of as, you know, when you do put the kids to bed, get off your phone, spend time with your partner. It can be as simple as, I'm just going to go to a class today. I'm just going to go and do one thing for me today that makes me feel fulfilled. So I want you to journal on this, okay? I want you to think, what is one thing that you can do for you daily? It can be different every single day. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Like I've got women that, yes, they go, I work out 5 times a week and I commit to my classes 5 times a week. That is fine. So you might want to look at it daily, or you might want to look at it weekly and go, what can I do for myself? Could be one thing a week or one little thing a day. Whatever's right for you, whatever aligns for you, journal on that, reflect on it. Think about it. Then I want you to ask yourself, what are your favorite things to do as a family? Forget about the chores for a little bit. Forget about the to-do list and go, what are my favorite things to do as a family? How can I bring that into my week? Whether it's, you know, your favorite thing, again, it could be daily, a little thing daily, or it could be once a weekly. What are my favorite things to do for my family? Because that's our most important thing, right? Like that's what we love. We love our kids. We love spending time with our family, but often we get so consumed by work, by chores, by having to keep up, compare, fit in, have everything perfect, that we neglect the most important things. We know we value them, but what are your actions saying? You might value them, but you're putting everything else first because you're so tired, okay? So what's one thing that I can do for myself daily or weekly? What's one thing that I can do for my family daily or weekly? Whatever aligns for you, because we've all got different lifestyles, different we're all juggling different things, right? So whatever is right for you. And what's one thing that I can do if you're in a relationship? If you are, what's one thing that I can do for my relationship? Whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, it's up to you. But for yourself, your kids, and if you're in a relationship, for your partner, what's one thing that you can do? Because remember, the fundamental, most important thing in our lives is love. Love for ourselves and love for people around us. So you need to be at your absolute best for you, girls. This is why it's so important that you take care of you, because our children, our loved ones, they feel everything. When you feel calm, when you feel at peace, when you feel love, it ripples out into them. They feel it. Just like with my little niece on the yoga mat last night, who's usually bouncing off the walls, she could feel my calm. She could feel the energy of this peacefulness. You can set that stage at home, and it comes from you because you're that dominating energy, not dominating, but you know what I mean? You're the leading energy in your household. And when you work on yourself and you heal and you grow and you take care of yourself, that ripples out into them. That's why it's so important. And when you open yourself up to receive more love, when you open yourself up to receive more self-acceptance, to sit in self-worth and show your children that you are worthy, you have to do that first. You have to show yourself that you are worthy. Show yourself that you are worthy of prioritizing time for you, because it ripples out into everybody around you. It really, really does. Whether you realize it or not, it really does. So I want to leave that with you today. I want you to journal on those couple of things, what you can do for you, your family, and your relationship, if you're in one. What is one thing I can do for that? Those 3 primary relationships in my life, and know that it's okay to take care of that primary relationship with yourself, my friends. You take care of you just like you would a loved one. You are worthy. You have to put, I know we hear it all the time, you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can save those around you. You have to fill yourself up because you can't pour from an empty cup. I know we hear it. You're like, yeah, I've heard that before. but now it's time to take action on that, okay? It all comes down to your actions. Take aligned actions and just trust. When you take care of you, your spirit affects your whole household, and it is going to be worth it, my friends. I am going to love you and leave you. I've left you with a lot to think about, but it's so important. You're so worth it, Angel. Your children, your legacy, your loved ones, they rely on you. They adore you, and you are setting the stage for them, my friends. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. So much love to you all. Bye.